Part 152. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1511. Chapter 1511. If I don't admit it, will you believe me? They shouldn't have asked this question. Asterisk. Chiao Mian never thought that Mo Yesi would come. Gong Zili never thought that Mo Yesi would come. He looked at the man who got out of the car and stood there with no expression on his face. Si, why do you have time to come here? Gong Zili seemed to have noticed the coldness in Mo Yesi's eyes, and said with a raised lip, is there someone you are worried about, so that's why you came here? In fact, there's no need to make a special trip, just say hello to me. Fourth, you didn't listen to what I told you before, Mo Yesi said with a cold expression and a dangerous look in his eyes, you don't know why I came here? Stop playing in front of me. Pretending to be confused, you understand this. I should ask you instead, why are you here? Gong Zili looked startled, then raised his lips and said, Si, I can't understand what you're saying. This is the Gong family's manner. Isn't it normal for me to come here? This is the Gong family's manner, yes. But why are you here? You know the reason, and I know the reason too. Fourth child, for the sake of our friendship over the years, I will warn you one last time. Put away all your thoughts. If I find out one more time, don't blame me for being ruthless. It's useless for you to think about it. She is my woman now. She will be in the future, and she will be for the rest of her life. You don't stand a chance, do you understand? Mo Yesi stood in the shadow under the tree. The light was behind him, his eyes were dark and calm, his expression was calm, and he looked at Gong Zili with no emotion in his eyes. The words he spoke were also light. But Gong Zili knew him well and naturally knew that he was already angry. Mo Yesi's anger is not shown on the surface. When he is really angry, the calmer and indifferent he acts, the more frightening he is. How could Gong Zili not understand him? His and Mo Yesi's personalities are partly the same. Similarly, they will have a strong possessive desire for things they like. Similarly, no pretenders are allowed. Similarly, it will have a destructive mentality for any coveter with bad intentions. He knows very well. If he hadn't been friends with Mo Yesi for so many years, he wouldn't have just warned. Gong Zili pursed his lips and was silent for a moment, then suddenly laughed, ACI, why are you so nervous? I know you care about her, so even if I have any thoughts, I have always restrained myself. What you said, I also all know. So, you can rest assured. I just thought about it and never thought about taking action. If she doesn't love you, I will her away at any cost, but I can see that she likes you. ACI, you are very happy and lucky to marry the woman you like. But I can't do it anymore, so I accept my fate. But no matter what, I have to repay her for saving my life. Mo Yesi narrowed his eyes, are you finally willing to admit it? Gong Zili smiled, if I don't admit it, will you believe me? Of course not. So, since you already have suspicions, I might as well admit it. I've known for a long time that I can't hide this from you, so I don't want to hide it either. As soon as Gong Zili finished speaking, he felt a shadow falling in front of his eyes. Mo Yesi grabbed his collar, do you think I won't mind if you tell me this? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1512. Chapter 1512. I must see you immediately. Gong Zili remained motionless, I'm just telling the truth. ACI, I actually met her 10 years ago, but I'm not as lucky as you. God gave me a chance, but I didn't seize it. So you must be good to her, and you must be good to her all your life. If one day you change your heart and treat her badly, I won't worry so much anymore. As soon as Gong Zili finished speaking, he was punched in the face. Moyesi stretched out his hand to push him away, his eyes were full of coldness, and the surroundings of his eyes seemed to be quenched with ice. Stop your wishful thinking, you will never have a chance in your life. With that punch, there was blood on the side of Gongzili's mouth. He wiped it clean nonchalantly, raised his head, curled his lips and smiled. Really, it's best like this. I also hope that I don't have such a chance. So, you must always be good to her and always love her, pamper her. You want to make her the happiest woman in the world. This way, I won't have the opportunity to take advantage of the situation. Only when he and Xiao Mian live happier and happier lives can he slowly give up. Asterisk. Ms. Xiao, someone is looking for you. While Xiao Mian was taking a break, a maid from a manor came over. Hearing that someone was looking for him, Xiao Mian asked doubtfully, "Someone is looking for me. Do you know who it is?" The maid remembered the handsome man she had just met. Her face became slightly hot, and she looked at Xiao Mian with a look of envy and jealousy. "He is a young gentleman," he said. "He is a member of your family." "My family members?" Xiao Mian became even more confused. As a young gentleman and a member of her family, the first person that came to her mind was Xiao Chen. But I think it's unlikely to be Xiao Chen. Today is not the weekend either. Xiao Chen is still in class at school. And there was nothing special, so he couldn't come to see her at this time. With doubts, Xiao Mian left with the maid. After a while, the moment she saw Moyesi, she thought she had an illusion. The man was tall and tall, with his back to her, standing in the bedroom where she was staying temporarily. When Xiao Mian opened the door, the man standing by the window slowly turned around. Moyesi, Xiao Mian opened her eyes wide and stood stunned at the door. She couldn't believe that the man she was talking to on the phone a few hours ago was now in front of her. Xiao Mian was too surprised and stood still at the door. Moyesi walked towards her quickly, stretched out his hand to pull her into the bedroom, and gently closed the door with the other hand. In the blink of an eye, Xiao Mian smelled the familiar and pleasant scent of the man's arms, and she was pulled into his arms and hugged her. Xiao Mian leaned against the man's strong chest and heard his clear and powerful heartbeat. After a while, she slowly came back to her senses. "How could you?" She raised her head, and just as she spoke, Moyesi held her chin, and Xiao Mian looked into his dark and deep eyes. "Don't worry about you. Don't trust me," Xiao Mian blinked, with a puzzled look on her face. "I'm fine, why don't you trust me?" Moyesi pursed his thin lips and did not answer her. Instead, he answered the question and said, "What, you are not happy to see me? You don't like it when I come to accompany you?" "No. That's okay." Moyesi hugged her again and reached out to gently push a strand of hair from her forehead. "No matter what the reason for my coming, just think that I miss you. I miss you so much. I must see you immediately." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1513. Chapter 1513. You really put me under pressure. Xiao Mian. Moyesi let go of her a little and gently held her hand. "Did the fourth treat you well?" Xiao Mian thought about the previous phone call. Her eyes widened little by little, and she said in disbelief, "Moyesi, are you jealous because Gongzili is here too, so you came here?" If this was the case, she didn't even know what to say. This jealousy is too exaggerated. More exaggerated than ever before. Moyesi narrowed his eyes, and a strange color flashed in his eyes. "Do you think I am jealous of the fourth child? Why do you think so?" Needless to say, Xiao Mian couldn't stop laughing. Don't you just mind that I had 2 scandals with him before? Didn't I tell you that there was nothing between me and him? That time we met on the plane it was just an accident, and the next one was also an accident. Aren't you and him good brothers? Don't you still know what your own brother is like and whether he is worthy of trust? After Chiao Mian said this, she felt that Mo Yesie's face seemed to change slightly. It turned out that she didn't know what Gong Zili was thinking about her. Gong Zili is his brother, and he used to think that he knew him. But now, he really didn't understand what Gong Zili was thinking. He believed in his wife, but he did not believe in Gong Zili. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come here. Just because he knew that he and Gong Zili were similar in some aspects, he also knew that once they had what they wanted, they would get it no matter what. If you can't get it, you won't give up easily. He never believed that Gong Zili would be willing to give up. Did you really come here because of him? Seeing his silence, Chiao Mian was really speechless. Mo Yesie, you are exaggerating. Don't you even believe your own brother? You can do this, it puts me under pressure, do you know? Men are too possessive. Although this is a sign of caring about her, Chiao Mian is indeed very stressed. Just knowing that he was jealous, she had already taken care to keep a distance from him. If the sense of security he wants is that she cannot have any communication with the opposite sex, then she will definitely not be able to achieve it. She likes him and is willing to be with him. But love is not the only thing in her life. Love is just a part of life for her. But she could feel that Mo Yesie cared about this relationship more than many things. Love may not be everything to him, but it can occupy 70% of his life. The man pursed his lips and looked at her silently. Chiao Mian, you will really put pressure on me. Even if I have normal contact with anomalies in the future, I will still worry about whether you will misunderstand, whether you will be jealous, or whether you will be angry. I will become careful about what I say to others. This will make me feel very tired. Chiao Mian looked at the man who was still silent, sighed softly, and tried to reason with him in a soft voice. Mo Yesie, can you trust me a little more? I married you, just to I'll spend my whole life with you. If marriage can't give you a sense of security, then I really don't know what to do. The man was silent for a long time before speaking. So, have I made you feel the pressure now? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1514. Chapter 1514. No matter what, you can't hate me. What happens if you feel stressed? Will you slowly hate me because of this? How could he not know that doing this would put her under pressure? He's just too afraid of losing her. Chiao Mian, do you hate me? The man spoke again, his voice becoming hoarse. How could I hate you? Chiao Mian sighed softly again, held his hand, raised her eyes and looked at him seriously and said, Mo Yesie, I know you care about me. What I said just now, and I don't mean to hate you, I just hope you can trust me more and have more confidence in yourself. You are so kind. Others say that I saved the Milky Way in my previous life before I met you. I have always thought so. I relied on saving the Milky Way to find a husband as good as you. I will cherish this luck for the rest of my life. So you don't have to worry about anyone taking me away, because someone has already taken root in my heart, and there is no room for anyone else. My husband is the best man in the world. With such a good husband, I can't see anyone else. The coldness in the man's eyes gradually dissipated, and the warmth in his eyes returned little by little. Seeing this, Chiao Mian kept up her efforts and praised, I don't even have time to like such a good husband, so how can I hate him? If I should be worried, it should be me who is worried. My husband is so good, if I don't take it more seriously, he will be loved by others. What to do if it's taken away? There was a little smile in the man's eyes. Chiao Mian raised her eyes to look at him and said solemnly, Mo Yesie, you really don't have to worry. I'm yours for the rest of your life, and you really don't have to worry about others taking it away. Unless one day you don't want me anymore, otherwise, I won't leave you. How could I not want you? Yes, he held the person in his arms tightly. Even if one day you don't want me, I will never let you go. Chiao Mian, what I want is your whole life. I understand you're after that. I will give you a little more freedom in the future. If you don't like me pushing you too hard, I will change it no matter what. You can't hate me. Well, I don't hate you. Chiao Mian reached out and hugged the insecure man in front of her, coaxing her like a child. Yesi, no matter what, I will never hate you. Asterisk. When Chiao Mian returned to the filming location, Yesi sent her there. After sending her to the place, he left. As soon as Yesi left, a group of female employees gathered around, all of them with excited expressions on their faces. They pulled Chiao Mian and asked, Mian, was that your boyfriend just now? Is he here to visit the class? Chiao Mian nodded generously. Well, that's my boyfriend. Wow, your boyfriend is so handsome. He is much more handsome in person than in the photos. What kind of magical boyfriend is this? He can enter the entertainment industry directly with his looks. Your boyfriend is so kind, he even came to visit you. I just saw how gentle and doting he looked at you. Are all handsome guys hanging out with handsome guys now? The looks of Mr. Gong and your boyfriend are so good that they surpass many young talents in the entertainment industry. A group of female employees were all envious. They are all thinking about how come their lives are so good. At only 20 years old, he is already a winner in life. Not only did she find a super handsome boyfriend, he was also super rich and he valued her so much. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1515. Chapter 1515. The expression on his face suddenly changed. Compared to some actresses who accompany old men for resources, Chiao Mian is simply enviable. My ex-boyfriend was President Xinggui. After breaking up with President Xinggui, I found a rich, handsome boyfriend. With her boyfriend's appearance, even if there are unspoken rules, a lot of people will take the initiative and willingly come to her door. Whether to accompany an old man or to accompany a tall, rich, and handsome man, as long as he is not a fool, everyone will choose the latter. Mian, where did you find such a handsome boyfriend? Can you tell us the secret? A group of girls gathered around Chiao Mian and chatted happily. Envy is real, and wanting to find such a handsome boyfriend is also real. But asking Chiao Mian to help them find it was a joke. Before they came into contact with Chiao Mian, these employees thought that Chiao Mian was not easy to get along with because of the negative news in the past. But after getting along really well and discovering that Chiao Mian has a good temper, these female employees all like Chiao Mian quite a lot. I naturally get along well with her. They had also contacted Chiao Angzhen before. Chiao Angzhen is a complete big shot. Even though her popularity is not as good as before because of the dirty information in the past, she still puts on a great show. When drinking water, she must drink the designated brand. As long as it is not the brand of water she designated, she will not take a sip. When staying in a hotel, you must also stay in the presidential suite, otherwise you won't stay in it. In short, all standards are of the highest quality. On the other hand, as a sister, Chiao Mian has no special requirements for anything. She will cooperate with whatever the crew arranges. Compared to Chiao Angzhen, I don't know how much easier to get along with. I don't know what the company was thinking at the time. It was not good to ask anyone to speak for me, but I asked Chiao Angzhen. Chiao Angzhen's reputation today is not as good as it used to be. In other words, he is wearing a front-line shell, but his actual popularity is no longer a front-line one. If we don't produce some good quality dramas to stabilize our popularity, our popularity will fall even faster in the future. This can be seen from the sales volume this time. Her sales are not as good as those of a newcomer, Xiao Mian. But I heard that Xiao Angzhen was able to get Shuexia's endorsement because there was someone behind her. With the endorsement she got from accompanying an old man, her current results are not very good. She is probably dying of anxiety herself. Asterisk. The shooting lasted until 6 in the afternoon and then the work was over. After finishing work, Xiao Mian went to find Mo Yesi. The man was working in the study. When Xiao Mian passed by, she opened the door and saw that he was conducting a video conference. Xiao Mian pushed the door very lightly. Knowing that Mo Yesi had walked into the study after the meeting, his footsteps were very light. She thought about sitting and waiting for Mo Yesi to finish the meeting. Who knows, even though she moved very lightly, the man who was in the meeting still saw her. In front of the desk. The man was wearing a white shirt, with the cuffs rolled up, and his collarbone could be seen on his chest. His handsome and noble face originally had no expression, but the moment his eyes fell on Xiao Mian, there was some warmth in his dark eyes. Meaning. Xiao Mian met his gaze and felt the doting and tenderness in the man's eyes. The corners of her lips slightly raised and she smiled sweetly at him. Mo Yesi also raised the corners of his lips. At this time, the meeting is still in progress. In Mo's conference room, on the projector. The senior executives had just been reprimanded and were trembling when they saw the expression on Mr. Mo's face, which had been sullen and intimidating, suddenly change. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1516. Chapter 1516 is simply an angel-like existence. What was even more shocking was that Mr. Mo actually smiled. A group of senior executives. Mr. Mo is not smiling at them, right? So, is he smiling at others? Look at Mr. Mo's eyes again, he seems to be looking at someone. When a group of senior executives were guessing who was the person who made their President Mo melt the iceberg, they suddenly heard their President Mo shouting in an extremely doting tone, "Baby, I'm in a meeting, please wait for me for a while. At most 10 just minutes." As soon as the baby was shouted out, the senior management felt even more horrified. Oh my God, someone like Mr. Mo can actually call others baby and so on. And that tone of voice and that look in his eyes were so gentle, it was like he was a different person. That was a side they rarely saw. Had they not been severely scolded just a minute ago, they would all have suspected that Mr. Mo had replaced him. A few seconds later, they heard a woman's voice in the video. "You are busy and don't worry about me, I will play games for a while, and after you finish the meeting, we will go to dinner together." The woman's voice was delicate and soft, and she sounded very young. More like a girl. The senior management immediately thought of the gossip news they had seen before and basically guessed Xiao Mian's identity. Some time ago, Mr. Mo and the newbie named Xiao Mian made various high-profile displays of affection on Weibo. Even though they, a group of elderly people, rarely use Weibo or anything like that, they have still heard about this matter. At the time, I felt it was very scary, and it didn't feel like their boss Mo's behavior at all. Now it seems that the young newcomer has completely fascinated Mr. Mo. For her, Mr. Mo did a lot of shocking things. So think about it, now it's normal to call someone baby. Mr. Mo showed off his affection in the meeting video. The senior executives watched and did not dare to say a word, and even felt relieved. Because President Mo just said that the meeting will end in 10 minutes at most. This means that even if they are scolded, it will only last 10 minutes at most. Furthermore, as soon as Mr. Mo's little girlfriend came, he was in a much better mood. I probably won't scold them again. After all, you have to consider scaring your little girlfriend, right? In the next 10 minutes. Sure enough, just as these senior officials thought, they did not continue to be scolded. Mr. Mo was probably in a hurry to accompany his little girlfriend. He agreed that the meeting would last 10 minutes, but it only lasted 5 minutes before he announced that the meeting was over. When the video display on the big screen ended, the senior executives were so moved that they almost cried with joy. Mr. Mo's little girlfriend is simply their lucky star and savior. It is simply an angelic existence. It would be great if his little girlfriend was always present at such meetings in the future. They no longer have to worry about being scolded. Asterisk. Mo Yesi closed his laptop, stood up and walked towards Chiao Mian. His little wife is sitting on the sofa, playing games with her legs crossed. She was very involved and serious in the fight, so he had already walked next to her, and she didn't notice it at all. Mo Yesi lowered his eyes, and his dark eyes fell on the screen of her mobile phone. Then I saw someone who was in the team with Chiao Mian typing, "Miss Sister, can we play together in the next game? Li Bai Zuj, will take you flying. Do you want to get to know Li Bai Zuj of the national server? An update will be released early tomorrow morning between 50,000 and 60,000 words." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1517. Chapter 1517. They just deleted me. Originally, this is nothing. The next second, when Mo Yesi saw the reply typed by Chiao Mian, the man's handsome face instantly darkened a bit. Chiao Mian's game ID is the same as her WeChat name, which is Mian Buruanmen. Her reply was, "Okay. But little brother, aren't you afraid that I'll trick you? Do you want to know something about this newbie who can only call 666? The person who formed the team replied, "That's great, I just need someone who can call 666. The two of you were talking to each other, as if they were flirting with each other. Even though Mo Yesi knew that Chiao Mian had no other thoughts, he still felt jealous after reading these conversations. Vinegar will not work. She actually called others little brother. She has never called him little brother. Mo Yesi became angrier as he thought about it. He wanted to grab her phone and quit the game immediately, but he remembered that she had just said before that he had made her feel stressed. After hesitating for a few seconds, he gave up the idea. He pursed his lips and endured it. Hold it until Chiao Mian finished the game. Then I saw an invitation sent by the person who said he wanted to take Chiao Mian to fly, inviting Chiao Mian to continue playing games together. Just when Chiao Mian was about to accept it, she saw a hand coming across her eyes and taking her phone away. She was stunned and raised her head. Just then I saw Mo Yesi standing next to the sofa, his face seemed unhappy. After taking her phone, he clicked a few times on the screen. Then he gave the phone back to her. Chiao Mian looked down and asked, "What did you do?" Mo Yesi sat down next to her. "I rejected it for you. If you want someone to help you improve, there is a ready-made one here. Your husband is no worse at playing than others, why don't you ask me to play with you?" Chiao Mian. She was still playing the game online, and saw a private message from the boy who had just ranked with her. "Jianxian Xiaoao, sister, do you have a husband?" Chiao Mian was stunned for a moment after reading it, then raised her head and looked at Mo Yesi. You can probably guess how he refused just now. She thought for a while and replied to the boy, "Well, my husband came to see me after finishing his work. I'm sorry, little brother. My husband is jealous. He doesn't like me playing games with other boys. I want to delete you." Jianxian Xiaoao, "Okay, I wish you happiness, little sister." The boy was still very conscious. After replying, he took the initiative to delete Xiao Mian as a friend in the game. Xiao Mian raised her phone as if she was handing in a task. I've deleted the person. The little boy who was just queued up today is only 16 years old, not even an adult yet. I just think he plays the game well, so I want to play more games with him. You wouldn't be jealous of an underage person. Underage, Moyesi narrowed his eyes. Well, underage. You call an underage brother. Xiao Mian. So, he saw all the content of her chat with others just now. No wonder when she raised her head, she saw his dark face. That's not the point. Xiao Mian's mouth twitched. Little brother is just a general term. As you saw, they just deleted me. Xiao Mian said, a little aggrieved. The little boy played the game just now really well. Moreover, she took a look and found that the little boy was really Li Bai in the national service, and he was ranked among the top 10 in the province. Xiao Mian's favorite pesticide assassin is Li Bai. After all, he is the hero who is known as the most handsome man in the canyon. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1518. Chapter 1518. If you bully her again, I won't let you go. She likes Li Bai even more because he plays well. Finally, there was a Chinese-dressed Li Bai who was willing to take her to the top, but because she wanted to appease a jealous person, she deleted it even though she was reluctant to give it up. In fact, she didn't want to delete it at all. That little boy just now was really cute. It sounds like a young lady, it sounds so sweet. If you want to improve your score in the future, come to me. Moyesi also knew that he couldn't go too far and would stop when he was ready. He reached out and touched Xiao Mian's head. I can play with you after get off work, and you can also play with me during my free time at work. Although he doesn't like playing games. But in order to prevent his wife from finding another little brother, he doesn't mind playing with her. He doesn't want his little wife to call other men little brother in the game. Can minors under the age of 16 be completely at ease? Children today are precocious and already understand everything at the age of 16, so they cannot take it seriously. I'm looking for you to score points. Xiao Mian blinked and looked at him suspiciously. Can you play this game? She has never seen Moyesi play games. What are his daily hobbies? It seems that apart from work, I just exercise and spend time with her. Xiao Mian couldn't think of anything else. Moyesi was irritated by her suspicious look. The man was silent for a few seconds without saying a word. He only stretched out his hand in front of her. Xiao Mian blinked, not knowing what he wanted. Moyesi looked at the mobile phone in her hand. Give it to me. Oh. Xiao Mian handed it to him obediently. Moyesi got the phone, opened the game, and started a game using Xiao Mian's account. Then Xiao Mian watched in stunned silence as he took an assassin hero and all kinds of carry, and his strength took away his teammates. The opponent was beaten badly. From the beginning to the end, it was a situation of being beaten all the time. Xiao Mian felt that the opponent was about to cry from being beaten by him. The hero of Moyesina is Li Bai. The two crispy heroes mage and marksman on the opposite side were killed by him until they typed and cursed him. Angela, Li Bai, do I have any grudge against you? You just keep staring at me to kill me. Are you sick? Lubin, Li Bai, Angela is my wife. If you bully her again, I won't spare you. Xiao Mian saw Moyesi curling up the corners of his lips, and actually replied to the couple. Then let you die together. Then for the next 10 minutes. Angela and Lubin almost all died together. Or maybe Lubin died 1 second, and Angela died a few seconds later. The two little crispy men were so killed that they hid under the defense tower and dared not go out, trembling. What's too much is that it has reached this point, and Moyesi still wants to cross the tower to kill the murderer. The two young lovers were so angry that they kept scolding him. Angela, Levi, are you a pervert? Lubin, you must be single and jealous of our love. No matter how good the game is, what's the use, if you don't even have a wife? Ha ha ha, singles are so pitiful, they can only find a sense of existence in the game. Then, the number of Lubin's deaths increased a lot. By the end, the number of dead on both sides was 2-25. Moyesi won the MVP, became a god, got 4 kills, and output more than 40%. Teammates praised him one after another, and some thought he played well and wanted to get him to continue playing together. Moyesi clicked reject, exited the game, and handed the phone to Chiao Mian, who was stunned. How about it? Your husband's game should be no worse than that little brother just now. Do you think I can help you improve now? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1519. Chapter 1519. I'll take your sister-in-law out for dinner. Just because Moyesi doesn't like playing games doesn't mean he hasn't played them. Also means that he doesn't play well. He had played a PC game when he was a student, which was similar to the mobile game he had just played. However, PC games are much more difficult to operate than mobile games. When he played PC games, he was the one who got the ranking. When I play this simple mobile game again, I feel that there is no difficulty at all. Chiao Mian said he wanted to play games before, and he had practiced several times in private. How did you do this? Chiao Mian still felt a little incredible, especially when she saw his amazing operations just now. She was extremely surprised. Didn't you say before that you have never played this game? She helped download the game client on his mobile phone. Well, I've never played it before. Moyesi curled his lips and said lightly to his wife's incredulous expression, I played it a few times later, it's pretty simple. Chiao Mian. He has only played it a few times and he can play it so well. So, people with high IQs can do anything much easier than ordinary people? She has been playing this game for a long time, but she is still a novice. We won't play games for now. Didn't you just say you were going to eat? Moyesi reached out and rubbed the head of his wife next to him. Have you thought about what to eat? Chiao Mian was still immersed in the shock of her IQ and said nothing. Moyesi smiled and said, since you haven't thought about it, how about I take you to find something delicious? Let's go. I know a good place. I'll take you there now. Asterisk. Chiao Mian was led out of the study by Moyesi. As soon as they walked downstairs, they met Gong Zili, who was walking towards them. Seeing the intimate look of the two people clasped together, Gong Zili's eyes narrowed, and then he greeted him nonchalantly, what, are you going out? Chiao Mian could feel that when Gong Zili appeared, the aura on Moyesi's body suddenly became a little colder. The expression on Gong Zili's face also seemed a little unnatural. The atmosphere between the two of them was strange. But Chiao Mian didn't know what the blame was. Yeah, Moyesi replied lightly, I'll take your sister-in-law out for dinner. Gong Zili pursed his lips and clenched one hand into a fist. Moyesi looked at him again, so there is no need to prepare our dinner tonight, and your sister-in-law won't stay here tonight. After saying this, Moyesi turned to Chiao Mian and whispered, let's go. Chiao Mian glanced at Gong Zili, then raised her head to look at the man beside her. A trace of suspicion flashed in her eyes. She really didn't think she was overthinking. There is something really weird between Moyesi and Gong Zili. Yet although she was confused, she didn't ask any more questions. She nodded and left with Moyesi. The two people walked out of the white building. Gong Zili stood there, watching them leave with a gloomy face, and then watched their figures disappear little by little. He gritted his teeth, and blood surged all over his body. It was like there was something blocked in his body, which made him uncomfortable. He knew that Moyesi did it on purpose. Remind him all the time that Jiao Mian is his sister-in-law. So, he cannot have any wrong thoughts. He knows everything. Young master. At this time, a maid came over, glanced at his face, and then said cautiously, "Do you want the kitchen to prepare dinner?" Gong Zili didn't answer. The aura around him was gloomy. After standing there for more than 10 seconds, he turned around and walked out with a cold face. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1520. Chapter 1520. I am too powerful, right? The maid didn't dare to call him. Asterisk. At dusk. The waves gently lapped the rocks, and the last rays of the setting sun sank into the sea level. The sky was getting dark, and on the sea, a luxury cruise ship was driving slowly. On the cruise ship, the lights are brightly lit. Jiao Mian was sitting next to a grill, and a chef in a white chef uniform was grilling freshly caught seafood for them. Moyesi is an expert at fishing. In just 10 minutes, we caught a lot of large lobsters, sea fish, and crabs. After the chef cleans it, apply delicious dipping sauce on it, and place the seafood on the grill over low heat to roast evenly. Jiao Mian is the person in charge of eating. Moyesi drove her to the beach and chartered a luxury cruise ship. They are the only 2 guests on the entire cruise ship. The seafood just grilled by the chef is very delicious. Jiao Mian ate a few shrimps, then took a bunch of shrimps onto a plate, and carried the plate over to find Moyesi. She picked up a shrimp and fed it to his lips. Moyesi opened his mouth and ate it. Jiao Mian asked him, "How is it? Does it taste good?" This skewer of shrimps was grilled by herself. Moyesi ate it and nodded, "Yeah, it's delicious." Jiao Mian's skills were different from those of a chef, so Moyesi could tell right away. It can't be said to be delicious, nor can it be said to be unpalatable. But what she baked for him was absolutely delicious. Jiao Mian's lips curved, and she fed another one to his lips. "Then you eat more. I'll get some for you after you finish." In the small bucket next to it, there is half a bucket of fish. They were all caught by Moyesi within an hour. Jiao Mian doesn't know how to fish, so I think he is very good. Probably because Moyesi caught the fish and was a good cook, Jiao Mian felt that the barbecue tonight was the most delicious of all the barbecue she had ever had. She watched Moyesi catch a fish within a few minutes, and said with envy in her eyes, "I have caught fish before, but I sat there for a long time and didn't catch one. Hence, I have no interest in fishing as an outdoor activity." Moyesi retracted the fishing line, and a big fish was still struggling and flopping on the hook. The crewman next to him stepped forward, took the fish off and threw it into the bucket. He looked at Jiao Mian's envious eyes, waved to her, and when someone came to his side, he put the fishing rod in her hand. The man leaned against her, his warm breath carrying a pleasant smell, and whispered in her ear, "Do you want to learn from me? I will teach you. I guarantee you will catch one soon." Jiao Mian blinked, raised her head, her eyes brightened. "Can I learn it?" Of course. Moyesi pulled the fish hook, put a bait on it, and then threw the fishing line into the sea. He stood behind Jiao Mian, arms around her, and taught her as if he was holding her, "There is nothing I can't teach you that you can't learn. In fact, fishing is very simple, focus and be patient, these 2 things must be done once there, it's easy. Look." The man's voice was gentle and he taught her patiently. He explained it in detail and it was easy to understand. Jiao Mian, a novice fisherman, actually caught a fish in more than 10 minutes. Although it was a very small fish, it was enough to make Jiao Mian excited. Wow, Mo Yessi, look, I caught a fish. Chiao Mian looked at the little fish flapping in the air. She turned around excitedly and threw herself into Mo Yessi's arms. She hugged his neck and said excitedly, I'm too awesome. End of this chapter.